Remember those weird but kind of awesome cereal commercials when we were kids? Or the creepy but charming Hubba Bubba and Fruit by the Foot commercials? And by we, I mean me and the other boomerennials of this website. Anyway, why are ads so annoying and soulless now, and intrusive? And why was this Pizza Hut ad in the arcade classic Crazy Taxi so cool? Yet EA recently announcing that they will be selling ad space in their game so uncool. Let's talk about ads in games and how they follow the trends of real-life advertising. I promise you, this is really interesting.
Imagine, with this light, crisp cereal, you can get all the nourishment of oatmeal. For this is post-heart of oat.
Back in the early days of digital advertising, when household TV was becoming huge for consumers in the mid-1900s, it had a different intent than it does now. TV back then used to be designed to just kind of be on in the background, kind of like a digital fireplace. Those of us who have boomer parents who leave the TV on all the time in their homes to this day will understand this. They are the last remaining showcase of this phenomenon. Now, let's talk about the earliest examples of ads in video games. What might come to your mind immediately, and personally fills me with a ton of nostalgia, are those McDonald's Flash games, or that one Chester Cheeto platformer game that was awesome, or a Pizza Hut ad in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 for the NES, which awesomely came with a coupon for the store when you first opened the box. But no, it's actually all the way back in 1978. In a little text adventure game for the world's first consumer computers called Adventureland. If you've never rabbit-holed the history of video games, you may not know that they all used to look like this. Just simple decision-based text-only adventures were absolutely huge in the 1980s. Adventureland was actually the first of these ever made, which is cool, and it also contains the first known advertisement in a video game. It's not a brand or anything, it's actually just an advertisement for the game company itself, promoting its upcoming next text-based game, Pirate Adventure. So while it's not groundbreaking, it is the first. And it's also something that I want you to remember as we talk about some other examples from back in the day, unobtrusive. Now I want to talk about Crazy Taxi again. If you couldn't tell, I loved this game as a kid, and it definitely solidified my love for video games when I was only about 5 or 6 years old playing it on the GameCube. Again, it has a real-life location in the game, Pizza Hut. I'm picking on Pizza Hut a lot so far, but it's because they had a lot of stake in video game advertising early on. Anyway, it seems silly to say now, considering how far graphics have come, but if you're old like me, you've been through several iterations of, wow, this is like real life. Madden 2002, wow, this is like real football. GTA San Andreas felt like a life simulator. You know what I mean if you've lived through it. Pizza Hut and Crazy Taxi added to this immersion and realism. It was kind of cool to pick up someone and drop them off at a real-life location. And again, it was unobtrusive. If anything, the advertisement added to the experience. Which is crazy to say considering the overall terrible sentiment of advertising in 2026. Crazy Taxi also has KFC, Tower Records, and Levi's Jeans as locations. Another example of this immersion is real-life advertisement billboards in Need for Speed Underground, or the first Alan Wake game using Energizer branded batteries, or the iPod in Metal Gear Solid 4. The companies had to pay these developers to put the ads in the games, but it boosted the atmosphere at the same time. And again, unobtrusive. Back to the digital fireplace idea of old television, the same can be said for commercials on TV back then, just adding to the background noise. Ads were designed to follow that back then too. They were not attention grabby and full of jingles that get stuck in your head or predatorially catering to a very vulnerable population like modern ads do. It's interesting to see that reflect in video games of the time too. I kinda miss it, honestly. So what happened? How come we don't see an Axe body spray billboard or a cigarette magazine in games anymore? Well, like everything in our capitalistic life, it's because money. Or at least I think so. Honestly, this is all subjective, ever so slightly elementary school educated guessing, and I could be wrong. Sometime in the late 2000s, we were all introduced to a little thing called social media, and a new age of the internet entirely, which came with the biggest flood of big corporate money in human history, thrown into small digital boxes that pop up and bug you until you force them to go away. A new era of advertising had begun, the beginning of the end. obtrusive, on-demand advertising. I mean, think about it now when you're streaming your favorite show and you haven't paid for ad-free viewing, which is a whole different beast of a greed issue. Isn't the ad break the most annoying thing of all time? I remember when I was a kid watching Saturday morning cartoons and commercials never really felt this way. It was just the time to go get more cereal or go pee. Now it gives this emotional response. And now the advertising industry's biggest battlefield by far is social media. We have been conditioned to be shown more and more ads slowly over time, and they are testing the limits of our patience constantly. So how does this relate to the lack of advertising in video games? Well, to me, it's no coincidence that around the same time there was a huge advertising culture shift, they stopped appearing in video games in the early to mid 2010s. I mean, why would a company spend $1 million to force a game developer to brand all of their games' cars as Hondas when Honda can spend that same $1 million putting Honda ads on tens of thousands of high-traffic websites with a massively diverse international demographic? The soullessness of advertising is a method to cater to a higher number of people. It's not an accident. So to say they aren't putting Pizza Huts in racing games anymore is because they don't care? Well, sadly, that's true. They don't care about following culture anymore. They care about following money and numbers. So the sentiment when EA was like, hey guys, we're gonna introduce ads into our games again, being, oh great, surely this won't ruin the experience, wasn't really totally off base. It's kind of funnily sad to see people joking about things like an unskippable pop-up ad in the middle of a firefight. We've been conditioned to expect the worst. But anyway, yeah, this is a very niche form of nostalgia I was thinking about recently. When I really started noting down my thoughts, I realized it follows this pattern of real life and really feeds into longing for the old days of video games, when character and culture were intentional and delicate and set games far, far apart from each other, rather than the same AAA 2 eggs, choice of meat and toast diner meal we get every year nowadays. Looking at you, Ubisoft. Never forget the Axe body spray ads in Splinter Cell. The day you killed Tom Clancy is the day non-disruptive immersive advertisement died. Not really, but you get my point. This is backed up by all the data that's been harvested over the years on this. Back in the 1970s, we were exposed to about 50 ads per day, usually on the TV or the occasional billboards cruising through the town. Today, the average person is exposed to 5,000 ads per day. Per year, it reaches up to 2 million individual advertisements across all ad mediums, including spam mail, email, and internet ads. That's kind of crazy if you think about it. And as that number continues to go up, so does the hostility and toxic thinking patterns associated with it. Like, for my fellow Americans out there, don't Super Bowl commercials just feel so different now? It used to be such a cultural thing, but now they are just pretentious and annoying, and I don't know anyone who likes them the same way anymore. Commercials in general just suck now. And don't get me started on the pharmaceutical ads that are for some reason only legal in the US. I wonder why. Okay, sorry, getting off track. My point in bringing this up is that I don't know if we can ever go back now. If I see a real-life ad in Call of Duty Black Ops 69, honestly, it's going to piss me off and make me go, ugh. And it never used to be like that. I don't know what the future holds in terms of ads in video games, but I sure hope it's not unskippable mid-game pop-ups like they constantly do in mobile games. Those 60 seconds feel like an eternity, and then the X is tiny. Then it still sends you to the App Store, no matter if you're a nanopixel away from the center of the X. I'd like ads in games to either be like they used to or go away entirely. So, on behalf of everyone, for the millionth time, but maybe not ever for this reason, fuck you, EA. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this? I'm wondering what other weird but kind of awesome ads in games, or games that were ads, that you can remember from our childhoods. Let me know what you think in the comments. This was a really interesting topic, and I could have talked about it forever, but I didn't want to get too far into the economic marketing industry weeds and lose everybody. I also would start talking out of my ass eventually, more than I already did, so whatever. As for me, welcome to the post-Minecraft era of Paladin Ryan. If you like stuff like this, please let me know. It'll help drive the future direction of the channel. Also, subscribe for more nostalgic-esque content like this, and I'll see you in the next video.